One of the biggest problems with positioning is that it's not static. Today everything is going well. You're acquiring, converting customers for your AI solution. Tomorrow, every other competitor integrates AI into their product, and suddenly your unique selling point evaporates. Poof. Suddenly you're competing on price. You're struggling to acquire users. You can't convert them into paying customers. So this is what we're going to be talking today in the 21st edition of the Best Positioned newsletter in marketing. When your solution is similar to your competitor's solution, inevitably the price war begins. This competing on price basically skyrockets your user acquisition costs, and it lowers your cost, and it lowers your conversion rates. Because the customer comes to the website, you open a website, it's an AI powered CRM. You open the next website, it's an AI powered CRM. Obviously, I'm going to choose on price. Now, when this happens, your cost of user acquisition goes up and your conversion rates go down. And many founders, to basically counteract this, they hire another salesperson, or a sales team, or get an agency to do the sales for them. But the sales usually don't improve. Or they start either at sales, or they start micromanaging the marketing department, and they're trying every growth hack in the playbook, to basically growth hack them out of trouble. But the issue isn't in sales or marketing. The issue is that you're not standing out anymore. So your offer is not differentiated anymore. The customer simply doesn't know why they should choose you over them. So they choose based on price. They choose the cheapest solution. As you scale without a clear positioning strategy that dictates your product development, your product will transition from a must-have to a nice-to-have. You have to understand that the moment your campaigns that used to be working start getting more and more expensive, the moment your conversion rates on the website, on the landing pages, start dropping, you are losing your differentiation, and you should act before it's too late, because these changes can take some time. They certainly won't fix themselves. Let's take the AI space, for example. The AI space is currently experiencing a hype. They're in a bubble, similar to cryptocurrencies and internet before that. If you can remember the internet bubble at the beginning of 2000s, I was younger and beardless, but this hype will not last. The same way that the internet hype slowed down and stopped and then started growing slowly, the same way that cryptocurrencies slowed down, stopped, and then started growing slowly, the same is going to happen with AI as well. And for for AI startups right now, the current landscape is brilliant, right? There is a high demand for AI solutions, not a lot of good competitors. So right now, everybody is just, happy acquiring users, converting them into paying customers. But, when the bubble will burst, and it will burst, there will be more competitors and less people to convert. And at that point, the challenge becomes, going from the early adopters, those who are quick to jump onto AI, to the early majority, right? And the early majority is not They're not looking for like a generic solution for a jack of all trades solution. They're looking for solutions that are tailored to their specific needs. Let me explain that more. So what we have here on the left is the technology adoption lifecycle. So this is basically how people adopt technology or new technological solutions. So obviously the first one into the product are innovators and early adopters. So they are usually, tech savvy people who right now in the AI space, they're just trying out everything that's based on AI. They're willing to buy these products, they're willing to try them out. They're extremely happy even if you don't have all the features yet, even if things are buggy, because they're desperate for a solution. Then comes the chasm, and after the chasm, is the second part of early adopters and the early majority, which is basically mass market, right? So the difference between these two users is that the first ones are desperate for the solutions. The second one is not. The second one is looking for specific solutions to their problems or needs. And so how that fuels your startup lifecycle, it's on the right hand side, we have the, how your startup will grow. So in the beginning, right now, there is a lot of AI hype. So you are getting a lot of people into the product. As I said, these people are happy, like they're desperate for a solution. That's why they are buying. So you don't have any acquisition problems. You don't have any conversion problems. You don't have message problems. People are just buying your product. And then once the novelty wears off, once these people see that, or once we either run out of these people or they see that this is not, a magic solution to their problems, they're gonna churn. And so, you're gonna be left with poor conversion numbers and poor acquisition numbers. And at that point, you'll have to cross the chasm and attract the second part of, early adopters and the early majority. But as we said, these people are looking for specific solutions to their needs. So you won't be able to attract them with a generic AI message. Like this is AI-based CRM, because they don't see the value in AI. They're looking for, let's say, I want to do this faster, or I want to do this better. And so you won't be able to succeed with a generic message. AI won't be a value to them. You'll have to find a solution for their specific needs. So I'm now going to show you, I'm going to use all of my design skills to show you how this will affect your customer acquisition and customer conversion rates. So here is, we have two axes. Here we have time, obviously, and here we have users. So here's the thing, right? So right now you're growing because you're selling to these innovators and early adopters, right? And there is a lot of them in AI. That's why you don't have any acquisition problems, you don't have any conversion problems, simply because there is a lot of these people right here. There is a lot of innovators, a lot of people willing to try out new technology, new AI. And once this stops, because we saw here that it stops, once the novelty wears off, your acquisition and conversion rates are going to drop, and people will churn as well. So that means you're going to have, basically acquisition and conversion problems at this point right here. That means that you're in the chasm. Now the hard work starts, because you have to find, what do the early majority want? What do they need? You'll have to find a message that works and addresses their specific needs. The company that's gonna do that best, it's gonna come out on top. So basically, they'll figure out, all right, so here is a use case for my customer segment, and they're just gonna grow, and they'll have a specific specific message for the specific user segment or a specific use case, most probably, and their customers are just gonna react well to that, and they're gonna buy this piece of software, right? Now, obviously, another competitor is starting just after you, and they're gonna go through the same curve, and they'll try to figure out their product market fit, and they'll figure it out, and they'll take away some of the market share. And the third one will start after that, and they'll go through the same curve. Maybe they'll figure out product market fit a bit faster, but it's gonna be a smaller segment, so they'll be growing a bit more slowly, more steadily. Most of the companies, right now we have thousands and thousands of AI tools who are starting out. They're feeding on this hype right now. They're gonna drop and they're gonna die in this valley of death, right? Because they'll never pivot from the innovators and the early adopters to the early majority. So they'll just they won't have a message that's sustainable in the long run. They'll never figure out product market fit, and so they will basically just cease to exist. And the user or the company that figures out the best message for the best use case of the early majority is gonna come out on top. But that's why you should start working on your message, on the use cases here, not when it's too late. So that you can cross the chasm and come out as a winner. So at the moment, many companies enjoy rapid growth due to the AI hype, but this success can be short-lived if it's not managed strategically, because as the early adopter market saturates, companies, will have to pivot to the early majority. And this group requires specificity, right? That's a good word, specificity. So to bridge that gap between, the early adopters, the tech guys, and then the early majority, the, marketing and everyone else, your startup needs to, analyze the customer segments, understand who is using your product and why, define their use case. You have to really refine your use case, determine the specific problem your product is solving for them and how it does so uniquely, right? Then you have to reposition the product based on what you find. You need to tailor your messaging that will resonate with the new audience. And this is exactly what happened to one of my clients a few years back. I've been working with a SaaS product in the client acquisition space. And initially the company experienced fast growth, until they were generating about a bit more than $1 million ARR. When I came into the company, their ads were getting more and more expensive. Their conversion rates on the landing pages were falling. After doing the initial market assessment, I found that this is happening because there were new competitors on the market and the company didn't have any clear differentiator. So, open their page, open a competitor's page, a user can't really see a difference, so they make a choice based on price. By reevaluating their positioning and refining their messaging, we managed to basically kickstart their growth again. We implemented a survey to understand the customers better. So there was a survey just giving us data whenever somebody signed up. We repositioned the company based on that data. After being clear on the new positioning, we revamped the onboarding process to fit these new customers. We added a whole new level of gamification to basically improve the lifetime value of the customers, and we restructured the pricing strategy to maximize profits. This resulted in obviously increased clicks on the ad level and the landing pages, improved conversions on the landing pages, much better open and click-through rates in the email marketing, but most importantly, we managed to grow the company from doing 1 million a year to 3 million in annual recurring revenue. The tech landscape is changing fast. Those who can adapt quickly, focus on clear positioning, clearly creating a differentiated product, having a differentiated offer, will emerge as leaders. So if you're interested in becoming a leader, in talking more, do reach out and let's grow your startup. Till next time, may your customers love you and understand your product.